Hola amigos de Rock and Pop, estamos aquí con Chris Kilmore, DJ, tecladista, productor de Incubus. Hoy la banda se presenta en el primero de los 3 Movistar Arena que van a hacer en nuestro país. So, first of all, Chris, how are you?
Yeah, I'm great. It's great to be here.
How was the flight?
Yeah, the flight was nice. We came from Buenos Aires. So
How was the show? How was Argentina?
Oh, Argentina's great. Argentina's great. A lot like Chile. You know? Very, very energetic crowds.
Very passionate people.
Yep,
Yeah,
exactly.
Well, thank you so much for talking to us. How does it feel to be back in Chile after almost a month that you play in Viña del Mar? How has it been coming back here again?
I mean, it's amazing. This is one of our favorite places in the world to come to. The Chilean fans are incredible. The food is great. The weather's great. So there's no complaints from me at all. We love coming down here. Doing the TV show was a really crazy thing. But I also think it gained us a bunch of new fans that we didn't have before.
Yeah, absolutely. I wanted to ask you a little bit about Festival de Viña because we're not really used to have a lot of big rock bands in that festival. So you were a surprise for us as well. I saw it from the TV and it looked amazing. I wanted to ask you, how was it for you? How was the format? Was it so different from what you normally do?
Yeah, it was different. Not a lot different because, you know, when we set our gear up and we start playing, like we're so concentrated and focused on having a, you know, perfect show. There's never a perfect show. Our perfection is too high to actually achieve it, but we try our best. The environment around us was completely different.
Yeah.
You know, the shiny stage and all the lights and glitters and the TV hosts, you know.
Yeah.
But the crowd was very receptive and amazing. The venue was super cool. Usually when we do a TV show, we only play for 1 song or maybe 2 songs. And so playing a whole set on live TV was kind of funky because we'd be playing and in our own heads and doing our own thing, and then you say, wait, we're on TV. So, you know, it was a little different experience. But, you know, anytime we get on stage and we try to do our best all the time. So in that sense, it wasn't any different.
Yeah, well, it has a big impact on the people here in Chile. There have been a lot of conversations like, oh, if Incubus could be here, then another great rock band could be here too. So I think we're going to see a lot more rock music in Festival de Viña.
Yeah, I hope so because, you know, the Chilean fans, the Chilean people I know love rock music. So give the people what they want.
And I have to ask you, where do you keep the gaviota?
Where do I keep the what?
The gaviota, the prize that they give you.
Oh, the seagulls.
The seagull.
So I couldn't put them in my bag, so I had to put them with the gear. So we shipped them back home, and we have a warehouse back home in Los Angeles where we rehearse and keep our gear and, you know, do all the Incubus-related stuff to get ready for a tour. And we have a little room there, a little lounge room, so they'll be in there. They'll be next to like the Red Rock Awards and the YouTube Awards and things like that.
A little part of Chile.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's amazing.
Oh, we definitely saved them for sure.
Well, now you're back in Santiago for not 1, but for 3 shows. And that makes a lot of sense because I don't know if you know this, but Santiago is the #1 city of Incubus listeners on Spotify around the world.
Are you serious?
Yeah, the #1 city.
I didn't know that.
How's it been your relationship with Chile throughout the years?
For us, it's one of our biggest markets. Like from the very first time we came here, we didn't expect there to be so many fans. You know, we were still touring around the world, and we come to South America, and we come to Chile, and all of a sudden, there's 3 times as many fans than we're used to. And then, you know, it just starts building and building, and we've been trying to do that all over the world. You know, in some places we're successful, and with Chile, it just seems like, you know, it just stays at the top.
Well, and the fans in Chile are obviously very energetic, very passionate. Yeah. How would you define the audience here in Chile?
I mean, I would say super energetic, super passionate, you know, like put super in front of all the words because, like they're loud. A lot of times they're louder than us on stage, especially when you get a lot of them together. Yeah. And, you know, you do the national chants and you put our names in, or the people be chanting for Mike or whoever, you know, and we enjoy that, you know, because when you put on a concert, it's not just us playing at you, it's us playing with you and for you. And for us to play good, we also need the fans to be good.
I always want to ask artists this thing that it's a part of you that when you see this energy in the audience, you're a little bit like, oh, I almost wish I was jumping and singing with them.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. But there's a lot of times where I'm like, there's no way I want to be out there because like there'll be a big mosh pit going and things like that. And I'm not as young as I used to be anymore. So when I see the big mosh pits, I'm like, yeah, I don't want to be in that anymore. That's right. I appreciate it, but I don't want to be in it.
Now you're back with a very special tour. You are playing Morning View in full. I want to take you back a little bit, 24 years ago.
Okay.
What do you remember of that time recording that album?
I just remember that we got the approval to go into a mansion and bring the recording studio there rather than going into a recording studio. And living all together, eating together, just partying together, making music together 24/7, constantly.
Absolutely.
Was super, super cool. And I think that's definitely the reason why that record sounded like it did.
And when you were making the record, were you guys feeling like, oh, this one's special, this one's different, this one will stay different than the others?
No. We knew we were growing musically, but I think we didn't put any restrictions other than kind of not to be in certain ways that we didn't want to be. But as far as what the music was, there were no restrictions. We didn't want to. We were getting looped into the nu metal category that was back then all the time, and we really didn't consider ourselves nu metal. We toured with a lot of nu metal bands, and that we always just seemed like we were a little bit different. So I think part of that Morning View record is us just saying, hey, we're a little bit different. We don't have anything against nu metal, but I feel like when you put a band into a category, they tend to get stuck there.
Right.
And most bands want to grow, and it's really hard to break out of a stereotype.
Yeah. And when you were, last year, you released a re-recording of this record.
Yep.
How was the experience of reconnecting with these songs? Were there any surprises? Like, I don't know, maybe, I forgotten how good this song was. Or maybe this song, I didn't pay enough attention back then, and now it's one of my favorites.
Yeah, well, for me, I went back and listened to the record because we did a live stream first. And so we moved all our gear back into the house, set up kind of like how we were set up, and played the whole record front to back. And before, I was listening to the record and practicing, and I was like, oh, wait a second, I've been doing that wrong for 20-some years now. That's not how I play it live, or that's not how I did this. And wait, that's a different sound than I'm using. Like I went back and actually relearned how I used to scratch 20 years ago, which was actually really hard to tell you the truth, because I do things differently now.
Yeah. And when you look back, are you kind to yourself, or you'll think, oh, maybe I should have done this differently?
I'm the hardest on myself, in the moment.
Right.
Like when I look back at it, I already let it go. I'm not mad at it. It is what it is. But when I'm doing something and in the moment, I'm really hard on myself, to the point sometimes that it's destructive, and the other guys have to be like, kill, like that's good, like leave it.
Well, that's the great thing about a band, that I think different personalities can help. Help you and be like, no, dude, you're doing good. Right. Well, and I know you guys are working on a new record. I heard it's coming out this year.
Yep.
Does revisiting Morning View impact in how you approach this new record?
I think all the records that we've written in the past impact what we're doing today. Obviously, Morning View has some big songs on it. Make Yourself had some big songs on it. And, over the years, we've written some big songs. And they all have an impact on how the new music is. I think this new record is really energetic. It's really thoughtful. It sounds like us, but in 2025.
That's amazing. Do we have a date? Can we not tell yet?
Actually, you're asking like what the name of it is or anything like that. We don't know any of that yet, but it's recorded, it's mastered. We still need to do the artwork and things like that. So if I could play it for you now, I would, but I can't.
Well, soon, maybe soon.
Yeah. Oh, you'll hear it soon, hopefully.
Yeah. Back to the tour. There's a new member on the band this time around. We already saw her in Viña del Mar, Nicole Rowe.
Yep.
How's it been touring with her, and how has been the fan reaction?
Oh, the fan reaction is great. Nicole's great. She's younger than us. She plays her instrument better than us, and she's got more energy than us.
It's kind of crazy because probably she grew up listening to Morning View.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. I only have good things to say about Nicole. Yeah. She's incredible. I've missed Ben, obviously. But Ben actually recommended Nicole.
Really?
Yeah. He was like, hey, I think Nicole would fit in great and can play all the parts, and she'd be a great fit into the band. So, we called her up, and she was with Panic at the Disco, and they stopped playing shows, so she was available. She was like, yes, I'd love to do it. She's probably regretting that decision now, but sorry, Nicole.
I don't think so. Well, they're having a lot of conversation about, female members in rock bands, but I feel like in 90s music, there were a lot of female musicians that were also touring. Yeah. But there's still that conversation around.
Yeah, I mean, I don't look at gender at all. Like, really? Like, it doesn't matter to me. If you can play your instrument, you can play your instrument. If you can sing, you can sing. If you can scratch, you can scratch. Whatever. It's fine. I wish the whole world was like that. Yeah. It's not, but I wish it was because it doesn't really matter. Like, usually, the women musicians have to be better than the male musicians. So talent-wise, they're better. They're usually better looking, and and they're it's like there's shouldn't be an issue. Shouldn't be anything.
And I think rock fans can be way more welcoming than people give them credit for.
Right. Right. Yeah. I mean, a lot of people that don't listen to rock music, especially heavy rock music, are kind of scared of the music. They're scared of the people that listen to the music, and they just don't know what it's about. But I know being a DJ and coming into the rock world, it's all of my friends love rock music. Even the ones that don't really listen to rock music, they listen to hip hop. So I just think it's like once you dip your toe into a different thing, or you learn something new, or you travel the world and meet a different person from you, that you realize, we're all the same. We just love what we love.
Yeah, I think there's a really nice scene there.
Yeah.
So before we end it here, I have to ask you for the show tonight.
Yep.
Is it going to be different from the one in Viña del Mar? What the fan can expect from this, not only this show, but on the two others?
Well, tonight we're playing Morning View, front to back.
Front to back.
And then we'll play some hits after that. And tomorrow night will be the same. We'll play Morning View, front to back. The next night we'll play Morning View, front to back. But the hits section will be a little different every night.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, and I'm sure it's going to be loud and rowdy and a lot of fun.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Chris. Have an amazing gig. We're going to be there from the audience screaming for you. So have a really great night. Thank you so much for talking to us.
Thank you very much.